In 1978, we believed a man could fly because we got to go to the movie theaters and see a man do it on screen. And his name was Superman. And along with it came Superman merchandise. So let's look at Superman merchandise from 1978. Guys, it's time for another video, and everybody this week's talking about Superman. Superman's back on the big screen, and a lot of people's excited to go see it. So I thought we'll go back to 1978 and take a look at Superman when the first big screen, the first real Superman movie came out. You're gonna say, oh, it's some black and white crap. But we're talking the real modern day Superman movie. Man, it was a great time in 1970. So excited. I don't remember going to the theater and seeing this. Well, I probably did, but I can remember this thing coming on HBO. I can remember the network television premiere. Remember that? When you got excited for a network television premiere?
1 week from tonight,
I think he's coming, Mr. Luthor.
it's the network television premiere of Superman,
Any more at home like you?
Not really, no.
starring Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Margot Kidder, and Christopher Reeve as Superman. 1 week from tonight, here on ABC.
Let's get on through it. We're going to look at merchandise. Now, a lot of this merchandise that was released in 1978 was not, I was about to say George Reeves, Christopher Reeves. I guess you could say it wasn't based on the movie. A lot of it is, but a lot of it was released in 1978. I guess it was just cheaper just to make Superman stuff without having to, pay the likeness rights for stuff related to the movie. I don't know why that is, but we're going to look at some stuff that is, straight from the movie. And there's other stuff that just try to, I guess, cash in on the name Superman. No, when I say cash in, I don't mean it's like bootleg or anything. They just didn't want to spend, I guess, the extra money to make it look like Christopher Reeve. So we've got a lot to dig into. I mean, this was a hyped up movie. I can't believe there wasn't more of a toy market for this with Star Wars just coming out in 78, but maybe because those toys didn't really start, coming huge to 79. And they kind of just, they did some Mego stuff, but they just didn't really, when you think a comic book movie, summer blockbuster, you think there would be more to it, but this is 1978 again. So let's dig into it. We're going to start right here with a record player. You heard me right, a record player. We had to play our records on something, am I right? And what's the best way to play your records? Play them on the record player. That's why I like to play my records. Maybe you play them somewhere else. Maybe you just take the vinyl out and put get a big needle, rub across it till you hear some sounds. I'm not sure what you do. This is horrible sound. The speaker was built into the box, but we didn't care. Usually we put our Peter Pan record on. The Peter Pan, we're going to look at them in a minute. Peter Pan record that told a story of Superman. But there he is. You go, see, released in 1978, the year the movie came out, but it's not Christopher Reeve. Check out this right here. There's Christopher Reeve, a cardboard cutout. That's right. You could have Superman in your house, standing in your room, standing right next to you, saying yabba dabba doo. I don't know why Superman would say yabba dabba doo. Sometimes I just say shit, don't even make no sense. And check out this right here, Topps trading cards. You know they had to have Topps trading cards. Come on, you know that was a thing. Had to be. Everything, every movie, even TV. There was even, I think it was Laverne and Shirley trading cards. Everything was trading cards back then. Check this out right here, a horn for your bicycle. I don't know if it's like a speaker. I think it's more like a speaker that you talk into. I don't know. Superman didn't ride a bicycle, so I don't know what you do with this thing. I don't know what you say. Maybe you scream out,
Mr. Fucker!
oh, everybody was quoting that line after seeing the movie right there. And then we've got lunchbox. I can remember this lunchbox. I think I talked about this when I went through every year my lunchbox. This was my brother's lunchbox. It was handed me down. It was a hand-me-down one, and I used it sometime, but I did have a Star Wars one around this time. I was like, I'm wearing my Star Wars. But sometime maybe you left your bologna sandwich in it too long and it stunk, so your mom threw it in this one right here. Superman. Lunch comes with a thermos. Don't you enjoy that? I know I enjoy a good thermos now and then. And check out this. Superman spinball pinball. Man, that's a tongue twister if I ever heard one. Superman spinball pinball. You remember these little plastic pinball machines? They were kind of fun. Let's be honest, they weren't as fun as going to the arcade and playing a real pinball. No, but they were kind of fun. You didn't really want to shake it too much, throw it across the room if you start trying. In the arcade it'll light up tilt. But here it go across the room and break. But there it is out of the package in case you want to get a better look of it right there. Now, I love pinball. Sadly, the kids today don't. They know about their video games and their Xboxes and their GTAs, but they don't know about the love of pinball. Pinball was a lot of fun. And check out this. At first, I was like, what is this? I couldn't find better pictures of it. I was like, what? Some kind of cardboard cutout where you can cut out and do a scene for the movie. And actually, scene for the movie. It's Christopher Reeve and everything. Zoom in on air. It's odd. It's an odd toy. I guess you can call it a toy. Maybe it's an activity you do with your dad. And if you have one, maybe you do it with your stepdad. Now, let's not joke around here on this channel. Let's be serious. Stepdad's not going to do it with a stepchild. So let's move on here to this right here. Superman come out of the bank. Coming out of a telephone. Yeah, well, he's not coming out of the telephone. He's coming out of a telephone booth. He looks like he's talking to somebody. He's like, Lois, what's wrong? He's stuck in that helicopter. And I think it's a bank where you put your money in, but don't hold me to that right there. And then we have a towel. Some may refer to this as a beach towel. You can call it whatever you want to. I call it a Superman towel. And there it is, in case you get out of the pool and you got your little naked 1978 body here and it's all dripping wet and everything. You want to dry off with it. You just use your Superman towel. You just rub it all around you and everything. And it looks really good. Looks really good. But we can't look at beach towels all day, so we're going to move on right here to a bedroom set. Look at this bed. Looks like there ought to be a girl with a devil inside of her spinning her head around, throwing a pea soup on that bed. But there you go right there, bed. Okay, and there's a pillow to put on the bed. Yep, well, it's not a pillow, it's a pillowcase. You got to get your own pillow. It's not a Superman pillow. You get your own pillow and just stick it in that case right there. Let's look at this right here. Superman mug, and that's got Christopher Reeve on it. That's an official merchandise from the movie right there. So you got to tell me, man, this ain't even from the movie. This stuff's not even from the movie. Well, it's technically from the movie. This one is. I mean, it's got, I was about to say Keanu Reeves. Why can't I can never talk. Never mind. Let's move on here, too. Look at this weird looking doll. I can't say it looks like Christopher Reeve. It looks more like that guy that played Putty on Seinfeld. Remember that? Oh, that is just... I think he did do the voice of Superman one time in a cartoon commercial for American Express. Oh, I got too much useless knowledge up here. Let's move on here. Superman, the album. Put it on that little record player you got and you can listen to it. Who did it? John Williams did the score? I'm pretty sure he did. You might tell me, that was Danny Elfman. I don't think it was. I think it was John Williams. I'm pretty sure, but I didn't look this up. And then we look at this. A Superman puppet. A Superman puppet is one of those that you do on the street. Not one that kids want to play with. You get this shit all tangled up in the car before you get home with it. But just a little puppet right here, and you're like, oh my God, look at me. I'm playing with a Superman puppet. Ooh, I'm in a John Cusack movie. I guess that's what you do with it. Kids did a lot of crazy things back in 1978. And then we have... You might call it it's a squeak toy. You might say it's for a dog. I'm not really sure, but it's Superman. It's like a little baby squeak toy, so I don't really understand. Maybe you had fun with it as a kid. And then we had plastic cups. They had a bunch of different ones, but we're looking at this one right here with Clark Kent, everyone's favorite non-Superman Superman, and Margot Kidder. Yeah, who did she play? Lois Lane. Why did I forget that name? Lois Lane. Margot Kidder. Remember that movie? She was falling. She was falling up a helicopter. I think she was holding on to the helicopter little cord for the CB cord. That shit wasn't holding no woman. Wasn't holding nobody. And then she fell. Superman caught her, and he's like, "Don't worry, Lois, I got you." And she was all confused because she'd never seen a man fly before. And she was like, "You got me? Who's got you?" That was a bad it wasn't that bad of an impersonation of her, but that's what she sounded like. And then we've got, first you like, is that a tie? Is that a tie? No, it's a Superman belt. Yep, you can wear a Superman belt to school. Crazy. And how about this right here? Another plastic cup. Superman. Remember that when the rails broke on the choo-choo train and he laid down, the train went over him? Oh, that was crazy. Parents were like, don't try that. Don't go to the railroad track and try that. Unless maybe it was your stepdad. And he was like, go to the railroad track and be like, see if you can do it. Let's move on to this one right here. We didn't have Netflix, okay? We didn't have movies on our phone. We couldn't watch movies. If somebody told you to go watch a movie on your phone, they put you in a nut house. They put you in a nut house. But this is how we watched movies back then because, like I said, we couldn't just watch something anytime we wanted to. So we get out the film projector and watch Superman. Most of these didn't have sound. I mean, most people weren't rich. You had to be a special kind of rich dick to have sound. But let's move on here, right? And also, it wasn't the whole movie. It wasn't the whole movie. It's just like best of clips. And then we've got Color forms. Who didn't like color forms? An idiot. That's who didn't like color forms. I love these things. Like stickers you could reuse over and over again. I wish they made a Star Wars color form. And don't tell me in the comment that you had one, because they didn't. They didn't make any Star Wars color forms. Sorry. And then we had a drinking glass. That was really popular back in the day. Collect drinking glasses, man. I know, as kids, we love plastic cups and glasses, and there we go. And check out this. First, I thought it was a Viewmaster, but it's not. We're going to look at that in a little bit. This is released in Japan. It's another film. I think it's another film. I think you open it up and the film reel's in there, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to look at something that wasn't just U.S. release. And then we have more of those plastic mugs. Good Lord, there's a lot of them. How many of these things did they make? As you can see, that one's got Clark Kent, Superman, and Jimmy Olsen. Why didn't Jimmy Olsen have more stuff? I don't even know why the actor didn't become a bigger star. I remember him in a Burger King commercial. See? A Burger King commercial with Jimmy Olsen. And then we've got a necklace. A golden pennant. Whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a necklace. It's Superman. I don't know why he's all gold. It's a Superman statue or something. But there it is. Superman. And check out this. Oh, here are these little puzzles, man. You little slide puzzles. They were horrible. I could never get them back together. I didn't like toys that you had to break and then get back together. And ain't that weird? Superman's school scissors, safety scissors. Anything worse than down a pair of safety scissors? You can't cut shit with it. You can't. I'm trying to cut some butter. You can't. You got safety scissors. And some of us had cassette players. We didn't want a record. We didn't want a record of Superman. No, we wanted it on a cassette tape. Who knows? Might have even made on an 8-track. Who knows? And how about this right here? There's the Peter Pan record I was talking about. It's like a comic book and a record. You get to listen. You don't have to read it. You can just look at the pictures. That's great. You can tell your mom and dad, hey, Mom, I read a book. You can tell your teacher after the summer, it's a break. You come back to the summer. Did you read any books? Yeah, I did. And I say, hey, Grady, what did you read? And he's like, I read the Odyssey. And they'll be like, oh, cool. Okay. Billy, what did you read? Oh, I read Lord of the Rings. Hey, Junkie, what did you read? The Superman Peter Pan book and record. You leave out the record part, really, because you won't think you read it, but you didn't read it. You just listen to the record and learn the words that way. I know, we all did it. And then we've got a Superman shirt. You couldn't have one of these cheap shirts with an iron on back there, and you wash it about 2 or 3 times, it starts peeling off and everything. It's just, But you had to have one. You had to have one. You're like, can you believe Timmy came to school with an iron-on shirt? And how about this right here? Roller skates. Roller skates. It was really big in the 70s. Roller. This is back when they had real roller skates, not those inline skates, man. I'm talking about roller skates. And these are the ones you don't have to take off your shoes. You just clamp them over your shoes. I guess you got some Buster Browns. You can leave your Buster Browns on and just clamp these on right there. And then we have a music box. Yeah, you wind this thing up and it plays. I don't know if it plays a Superman theme or not. I don't know if it does. You can look. You can research that, find out. Let me know in the comments. And then we got this right here. I call them BandAids. I know. Oh, they're adhesive bandages. BandAids. We call them BandAids. But yeah, you heard it get a little boo-boo right there. Put it on your arm. You're like, hey. Even Superman man wears a Band-Aid every now and then. And then you have Superman Jigsaw Puzzle. Here's another broke toy you got to put together. I'm not a big fan of broke toys you got to put together. But maybe that's just me. Check out this right here. Presto Magic. This is what you're thinking of when you think, oh, I remember colorful Star Wars. No, you're thinking Presto Magic. A lot different. Kind of like a temporary tattoo. You lay it down on the board, rub a pencil over it, peel it up. There's the image on the board. But you couldn't use it over and over again. A lot of times when you peel it up, a leg will be missing. You put Superman down, you rub your pencil all over, and you think you wrote it real good, and you pull it up real slow, and it starts to come up. You're like, oh, there's Superman flying. Then all of a sudden his leg's gone, and the leg's still stuck on the little piece of paper. Hard. We had it hard, Generation X kids. And then we got another, I think this might be a ceramic statue, I guess you can call it. I don't know. Call it whatever you want to. But there it is, right there, Superman. And then we've got a Superman Nightlight, because even Superman fans, we're little kids and we were scared of the dark sometimes. We were like, Superman can see in the dark. He's got X-ray vision. I don't know if it helps you see in the dark, but I guess he can see in the dark. I don't really know, but we got a nightlight to help us see in the dark. And then we had, I couldn't figure this thing is. Said it was just a poster, but I guess you're supposed to cut it out. But I thought it was funny because look at Superman. I guess he's supposed to be lifting up the car, but look at it. It looks like you can recreate Superman getting ran over by a car. Look, he's all stuck up under the car. You don't want to do that as a kid. No, I don't care what your stepfather told you. And then we've got a Superman van. That's a toy you can play with. Get down on your rug and play Superman on a van. Whew, that van's a rocking. Maybe you're playing Superman. And then we have, a get well message is a super person, not Superman, super person. This is for a kid that was sick and didn't go to school. And you're like, Timmy didn't come to school today? You take this over to his house and say, here you go. Here you go. While you puking in a bucket, Superman's out saving the world. Superman don't let no sick get him down, but here you go. Here you got a little sniffle and you ain't come to school laying in the bed all day watching Captain Kangaroo. Here you go. Don't be. You're not like Superman. Superman just rubs that, just shakes that off and goes on about his day. But nope, you're laying around with snot coming out your nose. That's what you give a sick kid. And then you got Superman bowl that matches the mug. We looked at the mug, and now we got the bowl to go along with it. We're not done yet. No, I wish we were. But we got Superman underoos. Who didn't like Superman underoos? I didn't have these. I wish I did. I was stuck in Star Wars mode, man. They said this was 1978. I didn't think Underoos came out that early, so you might want to recheck, but it said it was 1978, so I put it on the list. If I did, sorry. But anyway, who cares? It's Underoos. It's like what was meant for Underoos. I mean, it's perfect. The t-shirt, the red underwear, everything's perfect right there. And then we had a Superman ball. Did you ever want to play with Superman's ball? Now you can play with his balls right there. How about one of them bouncy balls? Remember one of them bouncy balls? You get them out of a bubblegum machine and they bounce super high. I always show the picture of them bouncing over a house. I don't know if you could really bounce them that far. You can bounce them on top of the house and roll in the gutter. And roll in the damn gutter! But no, I never had one bounce over a house. Maybe you lived in a little two-room shack. Maybe you could. Maybe you had a little two-room shack down in Tupelo, Mississippi somewhere. You could bounce and probably go over the little small house. But most houses you couldn't bounce a ball over. Whew. And then we got this god-awful looking mug. Whatever you want to call it. I'm moving on. This thing creeps me out. I don't even want to talk about it. And check out this. A ring. Yeah. Superman jewelry. Superman ring. I think it's Green Lantern. Ain't he the one with the ring, Green Lantern? Or is that Green Arrow? Green Lantern, I think. But anyway, this was, I think it's Nestle. You had to send off for this one, had a drink. Yeah, that's a good deal. Bunch of damn chocolate. And you get a ring? Ooh, that's better than buying Fruit Loops to get a free Han Solo action figure. I don't know if that's true. I'd much rather have an action figure than a damn ring. I mean, I was a boy, for God's sakes. And check out this. You want to scare people on Halloween? You can with this thing right here. A Halloween costume. That's scary, man. Look at this. Doesn't look like Christopher Reeve. Might look like Christopher Reeve now, but it don't look like Christopher Reeve as he looked back then in 1978. Ooh, but it is spooky. And then we've got the Mego line. We're going to end this video looking at the Mego figures. And although the Christopher Reeve doesn't... I guess the Superman, I should say, doesn't really look like Christopher Reeve, at least to me. Let's look at him up close. They gave him a little curl, but with the other ones we're going to look at the line, it looks like they at least tried to make it. I don't know again why they didn't want to make it like, what's his name? Christopher Reeve. I mean, he was putting his likeness on everything else. I don't think it was a likeness issue, but look at this one right here. Gene Hackman. Yeah. Bald-headed Gene. Let's zoom in on that. Gene Hackman. You see, it looks a lot like Gene Hackman. I mean, for the time period. And let's look at Superman's daddy. Did you know Superman had a daddy? I didn't until I saw the movie. And honestly, when I was little, I was like, get rid of this boring part. I could not stand the first of Superman. I was like, it's so boring. But you can see it was played by, what's his name? The Godfather. What's his name? It could have been somebody. Could have been a contender. What's his name? Oh, not Milton Bradley. Oh, Martin Merle. No, not Martin Merle. Marlon Brando. Sorry, Marlon Brando. I'm getting old here. But there he is right there. Then they also made, General Zog. You could kneel before Zog. You get this, you could stand the Zog up on your desk or your toy box. You could kneel in front of him. Well, what's Tommy doing in there? He's kneeling in front of his toy again. But it would have been a lot of fun to kneel in front of the Zod. I don't know what you're going to do when you kneel in front of him, because most people, when they kneel in front of another dude, I'm just saying. When you're down on your knees, you're doing more than praying. Just saying. Yeah. Whew, we got through. That was over 50 of them, I think. Or about 50 of them. You can go back and count if you want to. Let me know in the comments. I don't really care. But there we go. Superman. Tell me, I do care about when you saw Superman the movie, 1978. Did you see it at the theater? Did you see it later down the road? Did you see the network television premiere? Let me know when you saw this. Oh, and I'm gonna go have me some caffeine and some coffee. Maybe an energy drink or something, because I am tired.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.